Narayanam namaskritya naram chaiva narottamam devim saraswatim vyasam tato jayam udirayet nashta prayeshu bhadreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya bhagavati uttama shloke bhaktir bhavati nashraki. Hare Krishna. To so let's say start with anyone remember what did we learn last class? Frankly speaking, I also forgot that where I was stopped. So then I have to go back and oh yeah, I know we were on the chapter 24 and 25. So anything you remember? Because the last class was renunciation and our Kardama Muni wants to leave his house and go back to the forest and continue with his sadhana and how he can please Lord Vishnu. That's where we stopped. But again, in the chapter number 25, is a lot of information. So we are not going to cover that one chapter. We are going to only take some of the shlokas, maybe 1 to 12, we will read, because these are the questions asked by Devahuti to his son, and she's representing that you are the Supreme Lord. Because she already knew that before he appeared to her womb, she knew that he is the himself, like Lord himself is coming to my womb, and he is going to be the Supreme Lord, and the name given to him, the Lord Kapila, by the Brahma himself. And so a lot of the different appearance and what is the significance and the sign of the Lord Kapila, Brahma already mentioned in the previous when we were discussing. His golden hair, beautiful eyes, lotus feet, and all the different qualities of the Lord Kapila are already mentioned, because he himself is the Lord Vishnu. So that appearance of that one is mentioned in in the previous chapter 24. But what was the importance here is Kardama Muni. Kardama Muni is one of Prajapati. You know, the Prajapati is created so that they can create more progeny they can create. That is the responsibility. Like a Daksh Prajapati, we will heard, I think in next couple of cantos, Daksh role will also come. He is also a Prajapati. Daksh is the Prajapati. Kardama Muni is one of the Prajapati. Prajapati's role is to expansions of this progenies, making more and more. So first, how many daughters Kardama Muni had? Anyone remember?
Nine.
Nine daughters, yeah. Nine daughters and one son as a Lord Kapila. And the nine daughters, they gave it to all the different Rishi Munis, right? These are all created by Brahma. And all the nine daughters, they were like a beautiful, more than beautiful than any Apsaras. So nine daughters, and in the previous we heard that Brahma also came and they arranged all the marriage ceremony and give it to all the daughters to so different sages, and their duties is to again expansions of these progenies. And after completing that work, then Kardama Muni pray to Lord Kapila. I'm thinking that he was in the beginning, he was in the womb, and after the end of that things, Lord Kapila already appeared, and Kardama Muni met him personally in secluded places and begging him, please give me the permission so that I will go to the forest and continue with my sadhana. And when he was praying, it is very, I think, very nicely explained if you read, because I read again. So if you read that chapter 24th, where the Kardama Muni is praying to Lord Kapila, please read yourself, because in my description I cannot give that justification. But the way he was praying to Lord Kapila, it was very nice, very beautiful to hear those descriptions, the kind of thing he was talking to his one way his son, and at the same time he is a Lord himself, and he is begging that please give me the permission. I want to continue my journey and I want to go back to the forest, because whatever is expected from my Brahma, he is my father. That responsibility I completed now, and now I want to leave. So last class also I was mentioning, now the Lord himself coming to his place, in his house. Now why he has to go to the forest? And the different descriptions from the different material when I was reading, it was clearly mentioned that one of the father's responsibility is to, once he knows that his family is taken care, he should go to the sadhana to understand and give that self-realization knowledge to the others also. He should not be sitting ideally at the home like हम लोग ग्रस्त life वानप्रस्थ आता है, and the kids will go back to their job and family and they are expanding. Now our job responsibility is to do the preaching. Give this self-realization knowledge to the others. That is our job. Each father's and parent's job is that one, especially the father. That was the Kardama Muni is saying that I obey the decision or the direction or instruction of my father, and I completed that one. Now give me the permission so that I can go to the forest. The forest is representing that go for the preaching outside and give this knowledge to the other people. It's very nicely explained. I just gave the summary of this one. But the way Kardama Muni is asking, please go ahead and read by yourself all the things. And the Prabhupada also added a lot of material purport in that one. So that's how we finish our previous chapter. And in the chapter number 25, the glories of the devotional service. This is very, very important. Again, all the chapters are important. Again, here, the conversation now between mother and the son. When you hear these questions from the mother, how possible that she is saying that I am affected by this material Maya thing? And this conversation happened when? In Satya Yuga. That time also it's clearly mentioned that this Maya was all the yugas, but it was more prominent in the Kali Yuga. But the Maya, some influence was there every time. As we discussed, right? The people during the Satya Yuga or Treta Yuga, we have the demons, the people who can cheat. And in the slowly the demons, the functionality, right? The demon was staying outside the planet, then coming to the same planet, coming to the same city, and now the demon are residing within us. Wherever the demons are there, wherever the cheating and that mentality is there, the people will always be infected by the material thing, which is the Maya. And now, in this chapter, when Devahuti know that one, okay, he's my son, and now she knew that one because Kardama Muni already gave that instruction in previous chapter that when your son will be there, he will give you the self-realization techniques, how you will be free from this material clutches. Now I'm thinking that Devahuti, who is daughter of that Manu, Vishwambhamu Manu daughters, and she is the wife of Kardama Muni, who is the elevated sage and who is the mother of Lord Kapila. She is asking the very basic question which we are asking and we are suffering in our material world. Correct? And why she is asking now, I think one answer is definitely is benefit for us. But Devahuti, that level, Kardama Muni and that level, they are already self-realized, they are already liberated. But they are asking those questions which should come from our sense. Okay, we are in Kali Yuga, we are affected by this material thing. Then please Lord, give me the way how I can please and go back to Goloka Vrindavan. When we talk about the Vrindavan, right? How many Vrindavan we have? Anyone?
I think two, one on the spiritual world, one on the material world.
That's the answer, yeah, two, but it's more than two.
But
Anyone
there's
else
more
wants
than
to try?
Or every home can be a Vrindavan.
That is another one, yes. There are 5 Vrindavan as per the Shastras. So what are those 5? So that's what, one is Goloka Vrindavan, which is also called as Aprakrit. Aprakrit means where the Kṛṣṇa with his own personality and the form always reside, no matter where he is always there in the Goloka Vrindavan. And the second Vrindavan is Prakat Vrindavan, when he was Prakat, appeared in our Vrindavan where next to the Dwarka. That is the Prakat when he was there. when he was visible to all the Brajvasis and the people, but they are not able to recognize him as a supreme, but he was prakat there. And he was always be playing with the gopis and doing all his leelas. So that was the second Vrindavan. Third Vrindavan, when he left the Vrindavan, the same Vrindavan, he left the Vrindavan and the Vrindavan is still there. He is there, but he is not visible to everyone, and visible to only to the acharyas and the Goswamis whenever they pray. So the second and the third is the same Vrindavan when he was there, when he was not there. So that is the where we say, right, he always play the leelas, in the temple, right, whatever the temple name is, there's somewhere Seva Kunj, where the leelas is happening. He is still doing those leela, but it's not visible for us. So that is the third Vrindavan. What are the other two Vrindavans? The fourth Vrindavan come from your heart. And you want to build that Vrindavan like new Goloka Vrindavan. You want to recreate the same what we have in Vrindavan, the people from their heart and all the pure devotees coming together like Srila Prabhupada. He wants to build the new Goloka Vrindavan, new Vrindavan, new Goloka Vrindavan. In Texas, there is the Talavan, is another Vrindavan. So there are multiple Vrindavan. Our devotees from their heart, they want to present that one. They want to recreate the same what we have in the Vrindavan. That is the fourth. What is the fifth Vrindavan?
Our house is...
From your mind, you want to recreate the Vrindavan in your house. You want to always be in the meditating in all these Vrindavan and thinking that my house is also a Vrindavan. These are, I took it from the Amrendra Prabhu class. I was reading, taking the note, and he was explaining so nicely these 5 Vrindavans that we already know that, okay, there are Goloka Vrindavan and our India, Delhi Vrindavan. But there are 3 other Vrindavans, we can make this one. And our Guru Maharaj and Prabhupada mentioned, and in Chaitanya Charitamrita is also says, you also always has to stay in Mathura Nivas. But it's not possible. Where Krishna always reside, we have to stay there and have an association of the devotees. But it's not possible for us. But similarly, our Guru Maharaj says, why don't we make that Mathura and Vrindavan as our own house? Create that same thing. Do the same activity. What we do in the Vrindavan. We associate with the devotee. We say Radhe Radhe. We say Hare Krishna. Always be making that kind of environment. So why don't we make the same Vrindavan in our house? That is the 5th Vrindavan. Always meditate that Krishna is always in my house, which is there, right, for everyone. So that is our 5th one, is more prominent because we are in the Kali Yuga. We have lot of other responsibility. We cannot go always reside. I think some of them, they are fortunate to go there and always rest of the life they are preaching and residing in the Vrindavan. But it's not highly recommended also. Because Prabhupada also mentioned that one. You can come to the Vrindavan for the preaching purpose. Then go to around the world. Because Prabhupada never stayed in the Vrindavan for like 1 year before he started his journey. He always, but once a year, twice a year, he go to Mayapur and the Vrindavan. But our intention is always we go outside and preach. That is the example we learn from Kardama Muni. Kardama Muni was in the Grahastha life. He did his job responsibly as a family person. Now after the Vanaprasth, he wants to go out and do his preaching, to do the self-realization, give this knowledge to the other people. So after that one, that's where the Vrindavan concept coming in here. That you can, wherever the Kardama Muni will go, he will make that as a Vrindavan. He start preaching. He will stay somewhere and then move to the new village. Go there, make that as a Vrindavan. Vrindavan means bringing all the people together, make them the devotees, preach them. Right? So now, let's go to the chapter number 25. We will read some shlokas and then read some of the questions which is asked by Devahuti to the Lord Kapila. And what are the answers we will take in the next class. So in the first shloka, I will read three shlokas, and then we will take, I see only Anish, can read two shlokas. So only the text I'm reading. Text 1, Sri Sonaka said, although he is unborn, he is talking about Lord Kapila. He is unborn, the Supreme Personality of Godhead took birth as Kapila Muni by his internal potencies. He descended to disseminate transcendental knowledge for the benefit of whole human race. Shlok 2, Shaunaka continue. There is no one who know more than the Lord himself. No one is more worshipable or more mature a yogi than he. He is therefore the master of the Vedas, and to hear about him always is the actual pleasures of the senses. Now he is glorifying all the thing. Who is the Sonaka Rishi? Anyone remember?
He's the sage who is actually reciting Bhagavatam to the group of sages.
He is the head of the sage in Naimesharana forest, and he is requesting Suta Goswami to narrate what he heard from Sukadev Goswami. He is the head of 70,000-80,000 sages. So he is head there, but Suta Goswami is narrating. So now he was adding the glorification, and now in the shloka number 3, therefore please precisely describe all the activity and pastime of the personality of Godhead, who is the full of self-desire and who assume all this activity by his internal potencies. So now Sonaka Rishi is giving the glorification and asking Suta Goswami, who was narrating that entire Bhagavatam to this 80,000 people. I'm thinking that 80,000 people, what a speaker system they have there. But he was speaking there, right? So that when I was reading, I was making fun of we at the 20 people we are making the good sound system. Now 80,000 people, 80,000. I think that means a sound vibration, maybe from the heart to heart. I think something. So now in the shloka number 4, Suta Goswami said, the most powerful sage Maitreya was a friend of Vyasadev, being encouraged and pleased by the Vidura inquiries about the transcendental knowledge. Now Maitreya spoke as follows. So there are a lot of things. Now Suta Goswami is narrating the Maitreya Muni, and we know that, right? Haridwar, when the Vidura met the Maitreya Muni, and Maitreya Muni is telling the story. So now in the shloka number 5, Maitreya said, when Kardama Muni left for the forest, Lord Kapila stayed on the strand of the Bindu Sarovar to please his mother Devahuti. Number 6, text number 6. When Kapila, who could show her the ultimate goal of the absolute truth, was sitting leisurely before her, Devahuti remembered the word Brahma had spoken to her, and she therefore began to question Kapila as follows. So there are next 4 shlokas we will read. I will ask Anish, can you read next? Devahuti said, please listen to this question. These are very important because remaining of the answers we will cover in the next class. So here Devahuti is asking to her son. Number 7, Anish. Number 7.
Can you mute Lakshman bhai?
Yes, I can hear you. Yeah.
No, we hear echo.
Echo is coming.
Echo is coming? I don't have any.
You have to mute that.
Okay, let me.
If you mute one time, Lakshman, let's see.
Yeah. Can you hear us? Yeah, no echo. Cool. Text 7. Devahuti said, I am very sick of the disturbance caused by my material senses. For because of this sense disturbance, my lord, I have fallen into the abyss of ignorance. Your lordship is my only means of getting out of this darkest region of ignorance, because you are my transcendental eye, which by your mercy only I have attained after many, many births. You are the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the origin and Supreme Lord of all living entities. You have arisen to disseminate the rays of the sun in order to dissipate the darkness of the ignorance of the universe. Now be pleased, my Lord, to dispel my great delusion. Due to my feeling of false ego, I have been engaged by your Maya and have identified myself with the body and consequent bodily relations. Kirtana. Kirtana can read the next.
Oh, okay. Yeah, please read the next two shlokas.
Devahuti continued,
Oops. Goodbye.
I have taken shelter of your lotus feet because you are the only person of whom to take shelter. You are the axe which can cut the tree of material existence. I therefore offer my obeisances unto you, who are the greatest of all transcendentalists, and I inquire from you as to the relationship between man and woman and between spirit and matter. Maitreya said, after hearing of his mother's uncontaminated desire for transcendental realization, the Lord thanked her within himself for her questions, and thus, his face smiling, he explained the path of the transcendentalists who are interested in self-realization.
Okay. Thanks everyone. So I don't know. We need to figure out this eco thing, but only with the Karthik. So now, so what Devahuti is asking is, so one of the, I think out of this shlokas from 7 to 12 is Devahuti's questions is, I am very sick of the disturbance caused by my material senses. For because for this sense disturbance, my Lord, I have fallen into the abysses of ignorance. So now that personality, who's the mother of the Lord, she's asking this question. Is very maybe very powerful for us. I think makes sense. But the Devahuti is now asking maybe for the all the generations and generations. We are when they can have these kind of problems. Definitely, we are in the Maya. We are in the material clutches, and we are in the ignorance world. And now she was asking again that your lordship is only mean to getting out of this darkest of the ignorance because you are my transcendental eyes. By your mercy only I have attained after many, many births. So these are some of the questions which she was asking about the darkness, ignorance, clutches of the Mayas. I am entangled into this one and this bodily thing and the body relations. These are all reflect to us in this material world. After asking these questions, she is saying that I want to take a shelter at your lotus feet. This is the same we heard many times from different acharyas. This is the questions we should take and go to our spiritual masters, that I am in the Maya, I am in the ignorance, I am in the darkness. Now I'm giving you the obeisance. Please help me how I can come out of these clutches of the Maya. Right? So after hearing that one, then Lord Kapila started speaking, that giving all the devotional service. This chapter itself is, we need to understand what we should do, what is our responsibility in this material world, how we can disconnect from this material thing, how we can self-realize, understand the purpose of this human birth. Now the Lord Kapila teaching will come, and we will start from the next class. I'm going to stop here because there are a lot of things, and this chapter itself will take like a 2 or 3 classes, because a lot of details Lord Kapila will giving and the Prabhupada added. So with that, any questions?